This week, the U.S. House voted to approve a 3-month extension of the debt limit. If either chamber fails to adopt a budget by April 15th, the members of that chamber will have their pay withheld. Ironically, even if a budget never passes, they would still be paid at the end of the session. Now, among the newest North Carolina members of Congress is Representative Robert Pittenger. A few weeks back, he was sworn in to take the place of 9th District Congresswoman Sue Myrick, and Congressman Pittenger joins us today. Thanks very much, and congratulations to you.
Thanks, Dave.
Yeah, I know this is a time of transition. You have a background as a business owner, a former state senator. What is that like for you, moving to the halls of Congress now?
Well, I had lived up there previously in the 70s and the 80s. I worked for a Christian organization then. But coming back now, you know what I really value are the people that I've met and the folks I get to work with. There are some really commendable people. You hear about the isolated situations of people who abuse power or don't, run on the right rail. But my freshman class, my colleagues in the House, the leadership, I just have great respect that they're there for the right reasons. And they want to do the honorable thing. You
have talked about the need for bipartisanship in Congress, and we frankly haven't seen a lot of that. It seems at times, at least publicly, we haven't seen a lot of that. You tweeted out a picture, I think, of you and Joe Kennedy, not exactly a conservative member of Congress, but we're looking at it right now. Tell me the background on this picture right here. Have you gotten to know him just a little bit?
Sure. I mean, we've probably been in 5 different orientations together. I'm probably one of the most conservative members of the freshman class, and he's probably as far to the left as you can get. But you don't have to give up relationships to give up what you believe to have a relationship with somebody else. And relationships are important in life. You can reject somebody just because you have a caricature of what they're like. And people are real. They have their own real needs and real interests. And I just really enjoy getting to know Joe and a lot of other members, my own colleagues are the Republicans and those who are Democrat. I was at a meeting with half a dozen young Democrat members 2 days ago. And we're just talking ways that we can work in a bipartisan way to address the serious issues that we have in this country.
Congress has decided to extend the debt limit to May 18th. Why is that important? What does that accomplish? Is it simply kicking the can down the road, or do you think that actually accomplishes something?
Well, what it accomplishes is putting tremendous priority for the Senate to do their job. They haven't passed a budget in nearly 4 years. And we want to bring accountability to the Senate and cause them to come back and respond. I mean, the House has consistently passed their budget. They've done their job. And you send it over to the Senate, and they've done nothing. I mean, it's the law. They're required to do it. And now we're going to make them be accountable. And then with that type of accountability, we'll be in a position where we can negotiate with them on a real basis.
I did want to ask you about you have a 15-point pledge that you came out with that you're determined to accomplish there. One of them says priorities, America's defense, prioritizes America's defense and security and budgeting, and not allow cuts to fund a welfare state. What do you mean by fund a welfare state? What does that mean to you?
Well, I think in many ways we have become more dependent, and there's more and more programs that are being funded every year at greater levels, and that's where we are. I think the number one focus of the writers of our Constitution was to provide for the common defense, and that was the one thing that they identified that was the requirement of the federal government, was to defend this land. And right now, I don't want to see our soldiers come in harm's way because we haven't done the right thing by them by providing for them as they're out there defending our freedoms. So there's a balance. Certainly, we need to be a safety net to those who have need. But we don't want to be a culture that enables people to get benefits from the government and not even be required to work. We don't want to be a subsistence type government, and that's bad for them and it's bad for the country.
Representative Robert Pittenger, you got a big job ahead of you. Congratulations to you. I know it's going to be an interesting few years for you here.
Thank you so much.
All right, thanks very much. Well, coming up here, what do the inauguration of President Obama and gerrymandering have in common? We'll explain when Flashpoint continues.